Can Catholics believe in evolution? Let's take a few minutes to consider that question. Can Catholics believe in evolution? That's a question that's been circulating for a very long time, maybe even since the time that Charles Darwin came up with his famous theory over 100 years ago. Can Catholics believe in evolution? Sounds like a question about faith, doesn't it? But really it isn't. We really can't believe in evolution, not in the same way at least that we believe in Jesus or in the Trinity or in the forgiveness of sins. Belief has to do with matters of salvation, not with matters of science. One thing we certainly believe in as Catholic Christians is that God is the creator of everything, and that God created everything out of nothing. He brought life into being where there was none. But the process God used to make everything, that is something we don't know, because quite frankly, no one was there to see it but God himself. And when we read in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, how God made the world, we experience a beautiful story of the creative power of God. God bringing into being the world and all that is in it. And we know as we read this story, it's a story of faith. It's a story that expresses our belief about how the universe came into being. But as beautiful and as true a story as this story of Genesis is, we can also see that it's not a scientific account of what happened. For instance, in the story from Genesis, the earth is treated as the center of the universe, and all the other planets and heavenly beings, they are merely lights in the sky. There just isn't any concept of the sheer breadth of the universe as we now know it. The story even says that God created a dome around the earth to keep the rainwater up in the sky, and we certainly know that that is not an accurate scientific description of reality. So what were the biblical writers doing in this story? Well, they weren't giving scientific details about creation. They simply didn't have them. The biblical writers were conveying the message, the saving truth about the creative power of God. That was the matter of faith they present in the story from Genesis. And they expressed it based on the ideas that they had at the time, the ideas about the universe, how it was put together. Their ideas were not based on scientific knowledge that they did not have. So can a Catholic believe in evolution? Well, we certainly can accept evolution. We can accept it in the same way that the writers of Genesis accepted the theories of their time. If we think evolution is the best way that we have today to describe how life came about on Earth, then we should acknowledge that. As long as we understand that the most important part of this question is the faith part. It's our belief that God was the one who set everything in motion. God who brought life into being where once there was none. And God who chose to do that in exactly the way that He wanted. Thank you for watching, and God bless. Amen.